How's it going, guys? My name is Luke Ponto, and I'm going to do a little catch-up video for some of you guys that have been waiting to see my thoughts on some certain movies that came out this year. I am going to do some quick thoughts on 10 movies that I have not yet reviewed, that I do want to just give my thoughts on for you guys in case you guys don't know what I think of these movies. So yeah. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to click that subscribe button and also tap on the notification bar next to it, hit that thumbs up, and share this video. You guys know what to do. Anyways, guys, let's begin with the first movie that we're going to talk about. So we're going to kick this video off with the worst film of the bunch. Yeah, the worst film of the bunch. We'll end on a high note, but we're going to kick it off with the worst of the bunch, which is going to be The Mousetrap. What? What even was this movie? This is just the example of snatching up a public domain property and just churning out a crappy movie out of it. This movie ends like halfway, like midway through this film. Like, it's an hour and 20 minutes. It feels like it ends like not even having an actual ending. Oh my god. The kills aren't even all that memorable. The characters are so stupid and kind of hilarious, in all honesty, and not in the good way. Oh my god. What was even this movie? I don't understand what the point of this film even was. I mean, I will say the mask is kind of cool. Not enough to save this movie. So all in all, I'm going to give The Mousetrap a big F. Alright, next movie we're going to talk about is It Ends With Us, starring Blake Lively. I saw this film last week, and I was going to try to talk about it, but I just didn't have time to. So, let's go ahead and give my thoughts. First off, the cinematography is very good. I think Blake Lively is great in it, for sure. And I think there is some moments where I did laugh. There is some moments that I thought were funny, and some moments that I thought were kind of charming. But, geez, dude. This film is very forgettable. I remember a couple of scenes at least. But other than that, though, I don't really find this film very memorable. From what I remember, though, I do find a lot of the romance beats in this film very similar to Where the Crawdads Sing, which I think is much better than this movie. Because I actually think they kind of handled the romance element pretty well. Even though it might be typical for a lot of people, I think they actually handled it very well. This just felt like somebody were just writing the script from the book and being like, oh yeah, we gotta have a love triangle here. Taking out Where the Crawdads Sing. That's what I feel like what they did with this movie. So, I don't know. I'm glad some people are really loving this movie. I'm glad it's doing well at the box office, but not really much I can really say about it. Very forgettable movie. So with that said, I'm gonna give It Ends With Us a C+. Next up is A Family Affair. A movie that premiered on Netflix back in June, and I did watch it. I don't know what else to say about this one either. Look, the best thing I can say about this film is that Zac Efron, Nicole Kidman, and Joey King, the three leads of this film, are trying their best. I think they're trying, like, they put in some effort. Like, you can tell that they're putting in the effort, that they're trying their best to get through this film. I just think the execution of it was just weird and just really poorly done. I did not find the film very funny. Might have been a couple moments where I chuckled, but I can't even remember that myself. I don't know what else to say to this one, you guys. This movie pretty much sucked. So I'm going to give A Family Affair a D. Oh, Taro. Why did I even watch this movie? Curiosity got the best of me, you guys. Everybody was saying it was terrible, and I wanted to see how bad it was, and you guys were right. It's every bit as bad as everybody has said it was. And I was actually kind of interested from the trailers. Like, the concept was actually really intriguing. Like, basically the cursed cards are basically the creatures from the cursed cards are coming to life and killing these people that violated the rules of the tarot readings. That seems like a cool concept. But it's a PG-13 horror film that's predictable on every single level with the jump scares and the characters are annoying and very unlikable. And I hated the characters. The movie feels like it starts like 40 minutes in, and I don't even know what they were thinking with that. It's very generic. Like, you have every single possible movie cliche, horror movie cliche at that is thrown into this film. For modern horror films, every single possible cliche is thrown in this film. And the kills, you barely even see any of the kills because of dark lighting or their cutaway. That's just not excusable. That's just inexcusable for me with this kind of movie. With Five Nights at Freddy's, I can give that a pass because, as for someone who played the games, I understand why the kills were cutaway. Because the game is morely for teenagers. So that's the reason why I get that. But with films like this, or even if they're rated R films, I don't get why they're cutaway kills. Just show us the kill. It's not a big deal. But, jeez, dude, I pretty much hated every second of this film. Absolutely one of the worst films I've seen all year. Taro absolutely gets an F. Borderlands was another film that was released last weekend, somehow directed by Eli Roth, and it has a really good cast of Cate Blanchett, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, Ariana Greenblatt, and Jamie Lee Curtis, and Edgar Ramirez. What could possibly go wrong? Well, I'm about to tell you. First off, let me start with the positives with this film. There are some positives I could come up with this movie. I know a lot of people are considering this film the worst film of the year, like an absolute crime that this film even exists. I don't think it's like a disaster, because like I said, there are some positives I could come up with this movie. First off, Cate Blanchett I thought was trying. She was the best actress or best actor in the film. Like, I felt like she was trying the best out of every single one of them. I thought the practical set designs were pretty cool. And it's not a poorly shot film. And the costumes are pretty good. That's really about it. Other than that, though, the characters are terrible, very hollow, and very freaking annoying. Especially Jack Black as Claptrap. And I love Jack Black. He's one of my favorite actors working today. But they had to make him so annoying. And every single time he spoke a word of dialogue, I literally was like, oh my god, shut up. I'm tired of it. Me and Justin were bored throughout this film, and there was literally a point where I almost walked out of this film. But I don't know. I really did not like this film. Really big disappointment in my book, because I was actually really excited for this movie. I never played the games, but from the trailer, it seemed like a lot of fun. But nope. This is what I got. So unfortunately, I'm going to give Borderlands a D. Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie. Oh boy, I bet everybody's excited for this one. Now look, I love SpongeBob. Mainly the earlier stages of SpongeBob. That's the stuff I grew up with. That's the kind of SpongeBob I grew up with. Especially the first two films. I really enjoyed the first two films, especially that first film. But again, I love the earlier stages of SpongeBob. And when I saw that it was a Sandy Cheeks movie, I was like, I don't know if it's a good idea, but let's give it a try. And oh my god, dude. What were they thinking? This hurts as a SpongeBob fan. This hurts. Like, I hated the animation. It looked so cheap and fake. Like, I don't even know what they were thinking with that animation. The characters in this film are freaking annoying. The human characters are just there for paychecks. Like, why was this movie even made? Now look, let me just say, I think there is a good idea buried in this film. But I don't know what else to even say about it. There is a good idea. But there's really nothing much else that's even here to save this film. Like, besides the idea, that's about it. So I'm going to give the Sandy Cheeks movie a D-. Okay, now let's all take a deep breath here for a second. Now we can talk about some of the good stuff here. Wanted to get some of the negative ones out of the way first before I talked about some of the good ones. So the first good one we're going to talk about here is Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. Directed by Mark Malloy, and once again starring Eddie Murphy reprising his role as Axel Foley. And I gotta say, this was a really surprising sequel. Now look, I was excited for this film, but I had to keep my expectations tempered because Comedy sequels do not have the best track record. If you even look with someone like Coming to America, that one did not do very well for me. Zoolander 2 was not good at all. I mean, most comedy sequels that take like decades or anything like that to make, like, that's why you don't wait. So I was honestly very nervous for this film, even when I clicked play on Netflix. But as a fan of the franchise, like, I actually enjoy all three of them. This was a great addition to the franchise. Easily my second favorite. Where I think this film falls flat, though, I do think his daughter is not a very good character. Very, very one-dimensional for my liking. I also thought some story beats were actually kind of predictable when you really do think about it. But other than that, though, I really dug this film. I had a blast with it. Eddie Murphy is back as Axel Foley. Love seeing Judge Reinhold again. Good addition with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and also with Kevin Bacon as well. I just had a blast with this film. What more do you need to say? So I'm going to give Beverly Hills Cop Axel F a B+. Oh boy, am I excited to talk about this one. Next, we're talking about MaXXXine. I saw it a few weeks ago. I'm so ready to talk about it. The third film in the X trilogy from Ty West, and obviously starring Mia Goth as Maxine Minx. Now look, I think this film is a tad bit predictable when it comes to certain aspects of this film. People were kind of expecting this film to be more subversive than it actually was. But honestly, when I heard it was a little bit more predictable than people were thinking, or than people thought it would be, I got a little nervous. Like, I was like, oh no. But I was still really excited to watch the film no matter what, because I love X and I love Pearl. And I couldn't even tell you which one's my favorite. I think all three of them are on equal footing for me. One day you could ask me which one's my favorite. I probably would tell you this one, or Pearl, or X. One day either. So I thought Mia Goth was once again phenomenal as Maxine. The kills are brutal. They're so gory. I loved all the performances. It's really shot well. And I love the atmosphere. I love the 80s look and feel. I pretty much loved this film. What more do I need to say about MaXXXine? Go watch this film if you haven't already. I'm going to give MaXXXine an A. Please check it out. Next we have Fly Me to the Moon. It's directed by Greg Berlanti and stars Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum, kind of telling the true story of the moon landing conspiracy. And also has a little bit of a romantic comedy edge with Tatum and Johansson. And I thought this one was very, very charming. It is definitely predictable in points, and it's way too long. This film clocks in at about 2 hours and 12 minutes. Way too long for this kind of movie. But again, though, I really do think this was a really charming film with charming actors in it. Also, it was good to see Ray Romano back in the movie. I mean, I know we saw him last year in Somewhere in Queens, but this film, it was really good to see him back, honestly. I love Ray Romano in this. Tatum and Johansson, I think, have really good chemistry together. Again, you actually get that 60s feel here with this film. Also, Woody Harrelson was really good in this movie too, man. I loved Woody Harrelson in this. So yeah, if you guys have a girlfriend or a significant other and you're looking for a date night for a movie to pop on, I definitely would recommend Fly Me to the Moon. So with all that said, I'm going to give Fly Me to the Moon a B+. And the last film I'm going to be talking about on this video is In a Violent Nature. I was recommended this film by my boys Gavin and Cam. I'll leave links to their channels down in the description box below if you guys want to go check them out. They recommended me this movie, and I figured I'd finally check it out. I rented it through YouTube, and I wanted to see if it was worth the hype that they were making this film out to be. And I really enjoyed this film. I really enjoyed it. I don't think it's great. There certainly are problems with this film. I think one of the biggest problems with this film is our characters. I did not care about a single one of the characters, in all honesty, and I think the film does last a little bit too long. I know it's a little over 90 minutes, but there's a sequence towards the end of this film that lasts for like about 10 minutes, when I think it only should have lasted like 1 minute, in my opinion. But other than that, though, I love the killer of Johnny. I love like how he looks, The film is beautifully shot. Like, I love the look and feel of this woods. Shot in like a 4:3 aspect ratio, which I think is really cool. And the kills in this film are brutal. Like, and also, I do think this film does take a little while to get where it's going. Like within the first 10 minutes, I was like, not sure. Not sure I'm going to feel about this. But then once the kills start coming into play, this film takes off. Like, and yes, people are going to be complaining that this film is very boring because there's a lot of walking. But again, I love the sound design. And again, I love the cinematography. I love Johnny as our killer. And again, the kills are brutal. I love the atmosphere, the aspect ratio that they shot it in. I really enjoyed this film. I don't know what else you want me to say, guys. I really, really enjoyed this movie. So with all that in mind, I'm going to give In a Violent Nature also a B+. So yeah, guys, that is basically my catch-up reviews. If you guys enjoyed this video and you guys want to see me do more catch-up videos sometime in the future, let me know down in the comments below, what did you guys think of all these movies, and how would you rank these movies out of all the ones that I reviewed, if you've seen all of them. Let me know all of that down in the comments below. Like, share, hit that subscribe button. You guys know what to do. And look forward to more videos very, very soon. You guys are the best, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.